What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today we're going to talk to you about SoFi. Give you a quick overview of some of the data points, break it down on what really moved it, and what shorts did today. Before we get into any of that, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So SoFi did go up 4.25%, so very phenomenal day, and a lot of that was stemming from CPI. So I'm going to go over that in a second, but $15.16 the low, $16 the high. So all in all, pretty good stuff, kind of following the technicals for the most part. But CPI did come out, like I said, both year over year and month over month came in line with expectations. So that did solidify a 25 basis point cut for the upcoming December 18th meeting. So right now there's a 98.6% likelihood of that occurring. So in my opinion, I think that was pretty much the culprit on why everything was going higher today. NASDAQ did hit a all-time high. And yeah, consumers' buying power is going to be increasing, so that's going to cause a nice ripple and domino effect across the board. And so a lot of finance sectors and SoFi will definitely benefit from that. No actual news associated to SoFi itself, no SEC filings. So today it was kind of just piggybacking off of the broader market, which in my opinion, even looking at the month over month data for CPI, it was a very justified green day today because energy did go up 0.2, meaning the other basket items weren't as bad as kind of the data was really portraying, which is contrary to what last, I think, August through October's reports were stating. But there's one thing that I do want to bring up, and it was this. So the head honcho himself did tweet something kind of responding to data-driven investing, where he's kind of talking on crypto and what that might mean for the future, because I think with Gary stepping down from the SEC essentially in January, I think that's going to open up Pandora's box for a lot of big changes, including potentially crypto coming back to SoFi. So even, like I said, Anthony did tweet, if regulations permit, bringing crypto back to the SoFi platform would be the plan. So if that does come to fruition, whatever down the line, that would be huge for SoFi, and through that it'd be just bringing in a whole new amount of members because of this. And I think that might be able to kind of offset from having like the higher APY and whatever else. So hopefully that does come in 2025, but I think regardless, 2025 is going to be a very, very kick-ass year for SoFi. But moving over to shorts did return. They didn't really do all that much in all honesty today. So they returned roughly around 42,000 shares. 12.43% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 132.37 million shares overall are being shorted. This cost to borrow minimum is back to normal, so that's always a good sign. So that broker kind of quit, but generally you can kind of see they didn't do anything, just kind of back and forth a little bit, but very, very little kind of action from their front. So I'm sure a lot of them were rather disappointed by having kind of inline expectations with CPI, because if CPI was going to come in a little bit worse for wear or a little bit hotter than anticipated, I think the market was poised to really pull down. So lucky for SoFi and just the broader market, that wasn't necessarily the case, but 31 million in calls, 3.88 in puts. 47% of all the options being done today, though, were bearish in nature. And I think just in general, looking right here, like there was about 3.9 million between 12:55 and 1 p.m. And I think a lot of the bearish ones come from that. So if we kind of look at this, just generally sort it by premium, it looks like some calls were sold, and it is all for January 16th, 2026. So it looks like $15 and also $17 calls were sold, which based on the premium and the price, where it is now, it is generally seen as bearish. So big money's kind of, maybe they're hedging, locking in profits or whatever else. So let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. Aside from that though, just looking at some of the strike prices, consensus is still for it to be above $17 this week and possibly $17.50 by the end of next week. So pretty good stuff in that. And then the bears are anticipating for it to be sub $15. So in my opinion, despite that big, very bearish kind of option for the foreseeable future, which is negative, there's still a lot more upside in my opinion. And as I've been stating, there is no real reason for SoFi other than, I guess, just the broader indexes to be rather overbought. Like, there is no real reason for SoFi to pull down because a lot of the data points have been absolutely kick ass and are justifying for higher highs rather than lower lows. So I think a lot of people that are just complaining about SoFi and just a lot of other stocks, they just regret not buying, so they'd rather just be bearish. That's my opinion, of course, but these are some of the transactions that did occur on the secondary market above $100,000. So 58.5 million, 2.8, 1.3, 15.9, 15.9. So that is kind of an odd one right there. But aside from that, 1.07 million, and you should see institutions probably become a little bit more active with SoFi in the next 2 weeks, as it is the end of the quarter, or I guess the year as well. So a lot of rebalancing, so just kind of be prepared for that. But aside from that though, a lot of big transactions, as you can kind of see. So generally that's good to see that it is still on big money's radar. But as far as right now, with it at $15.94, it is trading between this R1 and the pivot. So $15.83 is going to be that next strong kind of support, followed by this S1. So this S1 has been kind of touched both yesterday as well as today. So $15.15. So we do know that's a very good support going forward. Flip side, for a target for tomorrow, $16.50 and then $16.91. So I think SoFi and just the broader market is getting really amped up, and a lot of good, I guess, justified reasons for it to kind of continue to move up. As far as right now on the actual chart itself, I'll quickly move that over here. So today's kind of rally was able to get it above this ALMA right here. So as far as that, $15.69, kind of just watch for that to be another form of support. But aside from that, everything is looking very good because of the recent consolidation that has happened. That did cause SoFi to be considered oversold. So again, that's kind of a good thing. And just generally, as I've brought up, just as a kind of FYI, just watch for it to stay above this super trend, which is at $14.38. So this green line right here, if it does break below that, then this is where the algorithms will really start to work against SoFi. But honestly, as I've brought up, it was showing some signs of consolidation over the last little bit, but with today's CPI, tomorrow's PPI, I don't think there's any real reason for SoFi to really pull down. So I think this might be the second wind that the market was really looking for, and potentially have higher highs once again. So let me know your thoughts on SoFi. Have you been buying today, or did you do options? Let me know your viewpoint on all of that. And then what is your thoughts, for instance, on shorts? So do you still think that shorts are going to continue to return? I feel that around 11% is kind of realistic. It's kind of matching the, again, kind of fintech for the most part, the average. But I think just with SoFi's good growth in the foreseeable future, then you might see a little bit higher highs, or I guess lower lows in shorts case. But moving over here, I just wanted to kind of show you this. Like, this is amazing. So looking at the earnings per share, this is the current estimates for the over the next several quarters. So you're seeing massive, like double digit, and in some cases triple digit year-over-year growth. Even for Q2 2025, 615.8% year-over-year growth. Even moving over to revenue, solid double digit. And honestly, by Q4 2026, 927.93 million in revenue. So by that stage, SoFi should logically be around that like $30 range, if not already significantly higher. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I think SoFi is going to be a very interesting run, and 2025 is going to be absolutely kick-ass for it. So let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon, link in the description below and also the comments. Take a look at a lot of my buy signals. I give buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. Many of them home runs, so pop over there and take a look. And with all that said, appreciate all of you watching.